Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brian with Big Red Overland. Today we're going to talk about different ways that you can inflate your tires. Now I'm sure most of you know anytime you go off-road you should be lowering the tire pressure on your vehicle, just so it has better time getting over rocks, getting unstuck through things. Sometimes you got to go pretty low. Most of you guys know about that. If you're not lowering your tires when you go off-road, you really should be. And the big issue with that is when you get back onto the main roads, onto the paved roads, you need to reinflate the tires, because if they're too low, it generates heat and it can wear down the tires. It wears down the bands inside the tires and it just causes issues. So to reinflate the tires, there's a few different ways that you can do that. You can take a route like what I have here, which is a regular air compressor that connects to the vehicle battery, which if you're going to go with the compressor route, you need to make sure that you get one that connects directly to the battery. Any of like the rechargeable ones, they don't really work as well and they're not going to be as efficient. This is one option. This is kind of a slow option, but this is what I was running for a long time. It's hooking this up to the battery and reinflating one tire at a time. They make kits where you can put compressors underneath the hood and even four-way split hoses and air up all the tires at the same time. Another option would be if you're close enough to a gas station that has an air compressor, you can kind of limp your way to a gas station and fill that up. But if your tire pressures are really, really low, you really don't want to be going over 30, 40 miles an hour and not for long periods, to get air into your tires. So you need to carry a portable way to get air back in your tires. So there's options like this, portable air compressors or vehicle mounted air compressors, or this is something that I'm just trying out now. This was sent to me by Preece Precision. This is the Preece products, the Source. This is a CO2 tank, air tank. So this, you're just gonna hook right up to the tires and it's gonna fill it up real quick. This is kind of probably gonna be the fastest option. Now, the only downside to this is it's pretty heavy, but if you're gonna be inflating and deflating and inflating and deflating, this is gonna be the fastest way to do it. So this is the Preece Precision, Preece products, the Source. They're also affiliated with OverlandAxis. If you follow them on Instagram, it's going to be OverlandAxis or OverlandAxis.com. I have a number of their products, their gas tanks and things like that. They're a really great company and you should definitely be checking them out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a demo. I'm going to deflate. We're just going to do one of the tires. I'm going to deflate one of the tires down to, we'll say maybe 20 PSI. And then we're going to time filling it up with the regular compressor. Then we're going to deflate it again and fill it up with the CO2 tank, and you're going to see just how much faster it is to use a CO2 tank like that. So let's go ahead, deflate those tires, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so we're going to let some air out of the tires. This is my preferred way to do it. This is one of the valve core removal tools. There's a number of ways you can do that. I see they make little screw-on ones where you can set the PSI and you can put them on all four. I like this. It's got a gauge on there, and I just do one tire at a time. It's pretty quick. And we'll just let it down. We'll go down to maybe 15 PSI and see how long that takes. All right, so you probably can't see it on there. We're at 15 PSI. So we're gonna use the regular air compressor and see how long that takes to fill it up. All right, so we got the iPad timer here and the regular compressor. We're gonna do this start to finish, popping the hood, hooking it up, and filling up the tire. Remember, we're only doing one tire, so this is gonna be, typically it would be all four, and you can imagine how much longer it's going to be. So we'll start the timer and get this set up. Here we go. Start. Now that's running. I don't have a gauge on that. Well, there is a gauge on it, but it's not accurate at all. So I always have to keep running back and checking the gauge on the dash there. So once that hits, I was at 36 before. Once that hits 36 again, stop the timer and see how long it took. We're at 2 minutes, 36 seconds. 3 minutes and we still have a long way to go. And remember, you have to do all 4 tires. All right, we're at 36 PSI and we're gonna stop that. 4 minutes and 31 seconds to pop the hood, set it up, and fill just 1 tire. And you'd have to do all 4. So we're gonna get this unhooked, put it away, and I'm gonna grab the Preece Precision air tank, CO2 tank, and we're gonna see how much faster that is. I'm assuming it's gonna be a lot faster. All right, so we're gonna go back down to 15 PSI, and then we can try out the CO2 tank. All right, it's a little hard to see, but we're at 15 PSI, so we're gonna get this unhooked and we'll bring over the CO2 tank. All right, guys, so we got the tank here, the CO2 tank. I'm not gonna time this one because I'm gonna take a little bit longer because I wanna kind of demo how this works. It's gonna be quick. You'll see it's gonna be a lot faster than 4.5 minutes. So what you're gonna do is turn on the main gas there, and you'll see this top gauge go up. And then you have a nice regulator here to where you're gonna set that to kind of the proper PSI, kind of match that there. So they're both at about 75 PSI. All right. We got this nice digital gauge that you can pick up from Preece Precision. Has a quick connect there. So let's get this connected and air these tires back up. And as you can see, this is reading 16.9 PSI. My gauge wasn't too accurate on that other one, I guess, but it's still a good demo. So here we go. At 24.6. This is real time, I'm not even fast forwarding. One point five. 35. 36.3. That was quick. And remember, there's no setup time with this. You just turn it on, and I would just go to the next 3 tires. It's a lot faster. I think this is a much better option here. So let me get this back disconnected. We'll wrap this video up. Quick safety thing. Before you put this away, you're gonna shut off the main gas. And you can just bleed it out through this hose. And you see all the gauges drop back down. You don't want to disconnect this hose with any kind of pressure in it. That's gonna be a bad day. And I just shut off the regulator here. All right, guys, so there you have it. There's the differences between using a traditional air compressor and a CO2 tank like that. We'll talk pros and cons real quick. With the traditional air compressor, the advantage to that is you never have to get it refilled. It's relatively small and lightweight, and it's gonna be a little more inexpensive. The disadvantage to this is obviously it took twice as long, more than twice as long, to fill up the tires. You have to pop the hood, you have to set it up, and then the 1 tire, I think, what did that take? About 4.5 minutes, and then times all 4 tires. It is much more tedious and takes a lot longer. The pros and cons of this. The pros with this is it was half the time, and it probably would have been quicker if I wasn't explaining everything. to get those tires filled up. That is much, much faster. And if you're gonna be deflating and inflating a lot, going on and off trails, back onto the pavement, this is a really handy thing to have with you. I'm going to be keeping this in my truck. You'll see in a future video, I'm doing something to the back seat there where I'm gonna have this mounted. So that way, when I come off the trails, I can real quick just pop these tires back up. The disadvantage to this is it has to be refilled. I got this filled at a welding shop just down the road from me. It was pretty quick and it was about $18 to get this filled. And another disadvantage to this is it's a little bit heavy, but besides that, I think the trade-off is there to where this is really fast and really quick to be able to re-inflate your tires. So obviously it's gonna be up to you. I'm probably gonna keep both. I'm gonna keep this just in the back here in my bins here, and you'll see I'm gonna have this mounted. I got a nice bracket for this so I can pop it out real quick and just get these tires re-inflated. If you wanna pick this up, it's at preeceproducts.com. I'm gonna put a link down in the description. They're affiliated with OverlandAxis. If you wanna follow them on Instagram, it's OverlandAxis. And they also have a website there. They have a lot of great other products. They're gonna be doing rooftop tents, roof racks. I have their gas cans on the side here. They're a really great company, and I definitely recommend checking them out and supporting them. So as always, guys, I definitely appreciate you guys checking out my video. Check out my other videos. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Big Red Overland. And that's all I have for you today. Big Red Overland, out.